2018.
This is all retrospect, okay?
No, I have it in journals.
Because you didn't tell me that you got this revelation from the Lord in May of 2018 until after you proposed to me.
No way.
Yes, you didn't tell me about this revelation
You're
until
kidding me
after.
right now.
Yeah.
You are kidding me.
I am not kidding.
No way.
It's better with us two. We're better together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Better Together, the podcast that is all about bridge building in every area of your life. Why are you messing with me?
I'm not messing with you.
You are.
I just like that.
Every time. Oh my God.
It's like a TikTok dance. Nar? Want to start over?
No. This is just gonna be. It's gonna be our thing, you know? We're just gonna never get that intro right. I let you get the intro last time.
What's that?
And I didn't interrupt you.
Oh. I'm sorry, babe.
Oh. Anyway.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for tuning in, for listening wherever you listen to podcasts, for rocking with us. We're so grateful for all of you guys who are following us. To the new people, welcome to the people who've been rocking with us from the beginning. Welcome back. We're here to talk about, today we're going to be talking about our story. And one part of our story that we get questions about a lot, and people are just curious, you know, how we got to the point of marriage in the first place. Well, this is a very interesting story. We're going to talk about our proposal. Yes. More specifically, how you proposed, right? So,
it should be very entertaining.
It promises to be very entertaining. Strap in, let's get to it. But before we do, just want to invite everybody to like, comment, subscribe, get on the website, sign up for the cruise in 2026 with Royal Caribbean.
Come on.
It's going to be a blast. And you can also get on the website and, you know, connect with us. Let us know if there are any topics that you want us to discuss, questions that you want us to answer. We also, you know, keep record of the things that you guys put in our comments as well. But if you want to be a little bit more formal about it, you can go ahead and get on the website, brettertogether.com. You will find all of those things and more as we continue to build. We also want to say thank you to all of the people who... Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I wasn't looking at you like anything.
Okay.
Was I?
All of the people who contribute to the financial upkeep of this podcast. We are so grateful.
Yes.
We never want to take you guys for granted. We're so grateful that you guys send in your donations. We get some via the website, some via YouTube, and we are beyond grateful. Keep them coming. We are grateful, and we will be more grateful the more you send them in. Anyway, so yes, let's kick it into gear and get into our proposal story.
Okay.
How you proposed.
Okay.
I'm interested in how you are planning to start this.
Oh, no, okay. So here's how we should do this. I think you should tell the story first from your perspective.
Really?
Then I'll tell it from my perspective. Or probably maybe I'll just like supplement as you go. But I'd like to hear your perspective on this because I know my perspective and I don't necessarily know yours.
Okay. Yes, you do. Because we've talked about this before, but it should still be different.
We have a video, by the way.
Yes.
We should probably post that.
We should post it. We will be posting a video of the actual proposal, so you guys will get to watch it in all of its glory and, you know, comment on that, and you'll be able to, you know, see for yourselves what actually happened. So you'll get to pair our perspectives with, you know, what actually happened and form your own perspective. All right. So how like, where do you want to start?
Okay, so
Like,
to this
how far
point,
back
we've been
are we
through
going?
our entire story from when we met, even before we met. We've talked about that. We've talked about everything leading up to the decision to be married. Like, so at this point, if you go to like the relationship playlist, our relationship playlist on YouTube, and just if you've watched those videos, then you're caught up from how we met to having made the decision that we're gonna get married. So
If you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them,
mhm.
because you want to catch up on the story. You want to be abreast of what's going on here. I know you liked that word.
No, don't do me like that. It was just I
You
don't like that word.
you've called yourself a 12-year-old before for less. So
No, no, I don't like the word particularly.
you don't like
It's
the
just,
word.
you know why I'm
You
laughing.
like
It's the choice of word that's funny, right?
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Cool. All
Cool.
right. So I think this episode's going very well, and next episode we will tell you about our first visit to the therapist.
What are you talking about?
Okay. So yeah, so people should know that by this point, uh, how we decided to get married, like what that process was like, and hopefully you learned from that. And so now, from that moment that I got the final revelation to get married was May of
2018.
2018, and it took me a while. Don't count. Don't count. It took me a while to finally pop the question. Part of that was
10 months.
okay. Part of that was we still because you didn't get till July, so that's not entirely fair. You didn't get the final confirmation until July of
This is
2018.
all retrospect, okay?
No, I have it in
Because
journals.
you didn't tell me that you got this revelation from the Lord
What?
in May of 2018 until after you proposed to me.
No way.
Yes, you didn't tell me about this revelation
You're
until
kidding me right
after.
now.
Yeah.
You are kidding me.
I am not kidding.
No way.
I did not know. That would have pissed me off if I would have known that you knew since May of 2018 that you were supposed to. Yeah, I would have been pissed.
You absolutely.
I did not know. I would have been over you. You understand
No.
me? 10 months, you waited 10. I would have been over you, okay?
No way. You absolutely
I am glad
knew.
I didn't know. No, I didn't.
You're telling me that you
didn't
did not
tell
know
me
that
the Lord gave you that revelation until after
Oh,
you proposed. I
this
think
is
it was after we got married. You
no,
told me.
this is crazy.
Okay, do you have record of you telling me?
I'm gonna
about this?
find it.
Find it
You
because I don't remember.
you find record of me not telling you until after. Okay. Because there's no doubt that we talked about it. Like how much? What? Okay, so okay. Part of what I did was because of the uniqueness of our relationship, I drafted a letter I sent out to my family and to church leaders because this was a big deal. At the time, I'm what's called a stake in the stake young men presidency. So I'm over like 12 different congregations, part of a 3 or 4 person presidency over all the youth, over 10, 12 congregations, I was in a position of trust, and so for me to marry outside of the faith, as it were, was a big deal. So I had some steps, some things that I had to do, and you didn't know until July. So there's that. But we got to Christmas and we went to Germany, and you already knew I was going to propose. So that's where I'm like, I'm just calling it on this because you knew that I had received the revelation before that because you were expecting me to propose to you in Germany.
That doesn't mean that you told me what the Lord said to you. You did not tell me what the Lord said to you.
Wow.
No.
This is
I know. Yes, I knew you were going to propose because you were like, yeah, this is happening. And you told me what you had done. You sent the letter and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we're doing this. And so I remember that. But then
I love this episode. This is great. I just feel like this is so genuine. This is so real.
then after that, you asked me again to choose which ring I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
which I gave you options because I wanted you to choose and feel like you had some choice in the matter.
Which is not what I
This is
wanted.
not what you wanted at all. You were like, no, pick exactly the one you want.
Yes, absolutely.
And this was,
There-
and I did. I resent you the pictures and the links to the rings that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that because early on in our relationship, it was like the first year, you wanted to know. I had a dream about the ring
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted. I think I might have had the dream before I ever met you. I had
Mm-hmm.
a dream about like the kind of ring I wanted or the kind of ring I would have. I saw it on my hand.
Mm.
I was like, that's interesting. I've never seen a ring like that. I was like, that can't possibly exist. I might have to get it like custom made. And then I just went on a deep dive on the internet and found this special jeweler out in California on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
And
something ice lease.
Jewel Ice.
Jewel ice. Ice lease.
Ice lease. Yes. Well, there was two different ones.
Yeah.
And they were both kind of the idea of what I wanted, but the one I have is like kind of it was closer to the vision that I had, but I knew that I wanted a floral ring. And I found it, and we were talking, somehow we got on the subject of it, and you asked me to send you a picture of it, and I said, "Oh, okay." I was a little taken aback by that because I think we were still in like the first year of our relationship. And I was like, okay. So I sent you a picture. And for Christmas, you sent me a James Avery ring
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of floral,
Mm-hmm.
similar. And you said, I can't give you the ring you want yet, but this is, this, hopefully this represents, what I want to give you. And I wear it on this hand.
Yep.
All the time. I don't usually take it off. And I have worn it since you gave it to me. So that was kind of like the foreshadowing, but then we went through the process, and that was 5 years because we got to 5 years when you actually did propose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you sent out your letters, you did all the things. Somehow we had the conversation, but you didn't tell me exactly what the Lord said to you.
Okay.
You just kind of confirmed, like, this is happening. I'm like, cool. But I didn't know it was like May.
I find that so hard to believe.
And July, okay, but that's like 2 months after.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. What is going on?
I don't know. I'm feeling snarky right now because anyway.
Because of what?
Because you're laughing at me and you're over there acting like, everything was just like so logical. Because you heard from the Lord in May and waited until February to do something about it.
Something about it.
I understand that it wasn't fully your fault. So let's just get into the story, okay? From my perspective.
Because I did something. I got a ring.
You got a ring in January.
Not in January.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In December. Okay.
Should have had it already. Now, this is the reason why I'm just being silly, but the reason why I'm saying that is because, okay, so you got your confirmation in May. I got mine in July. We saw each other, right?
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
Like in the summer. We usually would see each other in the summer.
A
couple times. And so this is 2018. Yes, I had the surgery. You came twice because you came in July, and then um, I had to have that surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You came in June. You
Mm-hmm.
came in June. That's why June was so hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you left? You came to visit, and for some reason, that time, us leaving each other, like
Mm-hmm.
you leaving, pulling off from the curb to
Mm-hmm.
go to the airport was like, that was rough for both of us. Like, we were both like boohoo crying, just like really bad. Call each other like 5 seconds after you pulled off, just both just
Yeah.
wrecked.
Yeah.
That was that trip. So
Yeah.
you would come in June.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was fine. It's toward the end of June. And then I think it was probably a week later that I ended up in the hospital because of the cyst.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you came back.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I was like, you prayed for me. You fought for me when I was not able to fight for myself in the spirit.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, if it ain't him, I don't know who it is, because that's why it was the confirmation, because of the hospital. I mean, June was pretty indicative. That's why it was so hard for you in June, because in May, you already knew. Okay. That's why it was hard for you to leave. Okay. So that makes sense to me now.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I just didn't know what had changed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always hard for us to leave each other, but usually you were the strong one. And for you to be so broken up about it, it makes sense because you had already crossed that threshold in your mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I got the surgery.
Yeah.
That was all 2018. Then the end, actually, I think I came to see you in September of 2018. I remember because we went out on the boat and I couldn't go on the water because they said, like, I could travel, but I probably should, like, just take it easy with the sutures or whatever. I think I was back to work by then, but I wasn't, like, fully reinstated yet. And so, yeah, came to see you in September. And then it started brewing that you guys were going back to Germany, where we met, to the same festival we met. And it was like, hey, do you think you want to come and perform and, like, do some concerts? And I was like, oh, yeah, why not? And that was kind of the draw. Like, oh, they met, at this festival and now they're back performing. It was cute. And I remember you coming to my room one night with your laptop to make sure that the ring that you were about to buy was the right ring. And I remember being disappointed, like severely disappointed. Like I wanted, I was like expecting you. I didn't know when you were going to propose. By this time, I knew you were going to, but I didn't know when. And I was like, Germany is perfect. We just got, we got back here, this is where we met. There's the waterfall, there's the twinkly lights. It was perfect. No proposal. In fact, you came to my room to make sure I picked the right ring. And I was like, what? Okay. Well, clearly this is not happening here. And I had to readjust my expectations. Hey, isn't this me telling my
Yeah, but I said I could interject.
Oh, you said okay. So interject. What?
I want to go back.
To what?
Okay, after the May thing, even though the Lord tells you to do something, doesn't mean you've reconciled to it. Because he told me you have to marry Mina in no uncertain terms. Like there are other things obviously that came along with that. That's another episode. But still, there's still the how. There were still some things that we hadn't felt like we worked out yet. And there were still some steps that had to go through. So even though, yes, the confirmation was there, I still had to work through some things, and we did too. And one of those things was actually the children question. That was something that was a concern in my mind, something we've been talking about. And that didn't get taken care of until July. And the Lord was like, that was actually kind of cherry on the sundae as well. Not just for you, but for me, that whole experience. Because when our ability to have a family was threatened, I think both of us were like, we want to have a family, And so Yes. And so it wasn't until July 29th, after, like, it was like 2 weeks after, that you asked the Lord and got your confirmation. So it was the same. It's like, so I just want to say that there's a confirmation, but sometimes there are steps to take after that. And was I slow? Yes, I was slow. Now, on the ring thing, little fun fact there, I ordered it then. It came while we were in Germany. You knew that?
No, I did not know that you had it. You had it?
You
Oh my
did not
gosh!
know this?
No, I knew you ordered it, but I
No.
didn't know it came to the hotel.
No, that's not true. It did not come to the hotel. What came to the hotel was the replacement credit card so that I could order the ring.
Oh yeah, because you cut up your credit cards in a
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey fit.
Dave Ramsey, yeah, come on, bro. You did me wrong, Dave.
No, actually, you didn't cut it up. It was frozen in a block of ice, wasn't it? Didn't you freeze it?
Yeah, I think I froze
You
them.
froze it.
Yeah, it's wild. Or something like that. So anyway, but yeah, like we were leaving this hotel, like, which was about 15 minutes away from where we were performing, up in like the mountains of Treeburg, away off the beaten path for sure. And we were getting in the car, and the DHL van, the Sprinter van from DHL came, like, literally as we were coming out, and I was able to get the credit card. Otherwise I would have missed it, and I would have probably missed the chance to order the ring, because the reason I wanted to do that, because I wanted to have the ring. I can't remember, because I do feel like it might have come in Germany, but I wanted to have the possibility of doing the proposal in Germany. But what's holding me back was I hadn't got permission from your father yet.
Right.
And I wasn't going to do that over FaceTime or the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That was an in-person thing. I had gotten out to New York to do that before the Germany trip. So that was really the holdup on that. All right, go ahead.
I kind of feel like we did end up in New York. Was that 2017? In the winter?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
2017?
Yeah. I mean, of course, we went to January 2019. Right after this Germany trip, we went to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. But prior to that, no.
No. Okay. Because I remember one year, that must have been the premiere year. Yeah, it was the premiere of Jesus. Yeah. Because you came in, it just kept snowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you like slept on an airport floor.
Yeah.
To get to me for the premiere, and it had snowed so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just looking at the journal, and there's some interesting things.
Okay, like what?
Okay, so after Germany was over and we went back, you and I, at that point, oh, wait a minute. Okay, the Lord, interesting. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. We didn't fly. Yeah, we flew out on the 26th. That's crazy.
What's crazy?
I think my date must be wrong here. But anyway, when we flew back from Germany, oh, okay, that's what happened. I'm so sorry. On the 26th of December is when we booked the flight. But bottom line is, we ended up going, we went to Germany, so we got to retrace our steps. We got to do some spiritual cleanup in Germany, which was huge.
Yeah.
And then when we were flying, when I came out to New York, then we flew back through Nashville and through Dallas, which is where I grew up. And Nashville is where we had our first date. So we flew through Nashville, Dallas, and then to Branson. So and within a few weeks, we'd gone through all the major points of, like, geographic locations where we would have, like had to, like, go break curses or claim blessings or doing a spiritual cleanup. So that seemed very significant.
Yeah. While I was in Germany, the Lord showed me, he showed me why he had brought me back in the first place. And he said that he had brought me there to break some of the generational covenants that had been set by my family, by my mother's side of the family specifically, but also by my dad's side. because Stevens is a German name.
Mm.
Kaib was my mom's family name, and Stevens my dad. And we always known that we had German roots on my mom's side. And when I got there to Germany, I was praying in my room one day, and the Lord showed me that the reason he had brought me there was to help break some of the generational covenants that had been established on that soil. He said, it's important that you break it where it was made.
Mm-hmm.
And he made sure that I understood that the geographical location was important, that me being on that soil, having the DNA that I had, was important. And so I remember sitting there and praying, and he showed me that one of our major family covenants was with pride.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that there's pride that breaks families and pride that breaks hearts. Those are the two prominent ones in your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was like, okay, but I don't really think that those really, manifest in my life. I was thinking of different family members like, oh, I could see how that would be their problem, And he's like, yeah, that's not really how that works. These covenants and traumas and people like to call them generational curses, these generational patterns, they manifest differently depending on your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you deal with the pride that breaks hearts. And if I had not gone back to Germany and done that work in the spirit, I don't know that we would have actually gotten married. And if we did, I don't know that our relationship would be in the state that it's in.
Yeah.
I think it would be probably in peril. Because I didn't, if I hadn't broken that covenant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was one important reason why we had to go back to Germany. Why I had to go back to Germany was because I had to break the covenants that had been set in place by family generations before that. And the Lord was giving me the opportunity and the privilege to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it has had a tremendous impact on our relationship.
I agree.
Because, the pride that breaks hearts, you can't have a relationship, a long-lasting relationship with that kind of pride sitting in your heart, sitting on the throne of your heart. And so that was one of the reasons why, one of the spiritual reasons why I had to go back to Germany, why the Lord orchestrated it so that I could. But I also thought that one of them was so that we could get engaged, and we didn't. And so
because that would have been, listen,
that would have been epic.
Cliche.
It would have been cliche.
It
would have been okay.
It would have been expected.
We're going there.
It would have been expected.
It would have also been amazing.
Just
because we were back in the place that we've been. We were in a different country. In like this gorgeous festival thing, the scene was set for you. You could have done it at the closing ceremony. I mean, that was a perfect time. We had New Year's dinner at this restaurant. You could have did it then. You could have did it the many times when we were just like decompressing after, the show in the evenings. Just be hanging out in that hotel house thing where we were staying. That was a cool place. There's so many opportunities for it to happen.
Absolutely.
But when you knocked on the door and asked me to pick my ring, all of that flew out of the window. I was like, okay, I have to readjust my expectations.
But you had to know that I hadn't spoken with your father yet.
I had to know that?
Yeah, because I think we talked about that.
Because you would have told me.
What? Yes.
You would have.
Oh, I felt there was some shade on that.
No.
Okay. All right, sorry.
I wasn't.
I felt a
shady.
cool breeze.
I don't do shade anyway. You know that. So yeah,
Okay.
you didn't. You came to my room and picked. We picked the ring, and from there, I guess you ordered it, and then I left Germany before you to go back because I had to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they let me off was a miracle, for sure, a miracle.
Yep.
Because it was just kind of crazy. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember what after that. I went back to Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
finished my contract,
Mm-hmm.
and packed up my apartment. My buddy, my brother Josh, drove all of my stuff
Mm-hmm. To
in
Branson.
in a truck to Branson because we were all. It was a few of us that were all moving to Branson at the same time for our contracts in Branson, and so he packed up a truck of my stuff, his stuff, and Amber's stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and he drove it cross country,
Mm-hmm.
for us, which love him so
Mm-hmm.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Josh, love
And
you.
it stayed in the truck for a few weeks,
It
right?
did? No, no, he drove it cross country, and
I helped
you
unload
helped
it,
you helped unload it at my new place
and then I flew out to New
in
York
Branson.
after that.
I think so.
Okay.
I think you flew.
Okay, fine.
I think you flew out after that.
Okay.
And I went because there would be like a couple weeks between contracts, and whenever that was the case, like whenever there's breaks between contracts, I would end up in New York.
Yeah.
With my family.
Well, and you knew that this was.
Yeah.
Because you knew I was going to propose to you at this point, so
Yeah.
you knew this was the last hurrah with your family. So
yeah, I
you
knew
wanted to go
this was
spend
the last
time.
time I was gonna be like living with them.
But you have this dull, growing irritation with me because I hadn't proposed yet.
It wasn't
right?
dull. It was. I was irritated. You're right. It was dull at that point. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I come out to New York and I still
and
didn't
you
do it.
still
That's
didn't
when
propose,
I had
and
the
you
ring.
had the ring.
I had the ring
and
with
I think
me.
I thought you were going to.
Yep.
And you probably showed the ring to my siblings or something.
I don't know.
We should ask Sean because he would remember. He's got an ironclad memory.
But everybody knew
Everybody
what
knew.
I was there for.
Yeah, because that was the plan. You were going to propose in New York with my family, right? Everybody, so my family could be there.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen.
Because the Lord told
Because
me to.
the Lord told you not to? Really?
No, not. It just didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right. Okay.
It didn't feel right.
Because you still didn't get to talk to my dad.
That was the big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, so the whole time there, like there's 6 or 7 days, I texted your dad ahead of time. He texted back too. I texted him and said something to the effect of, "I am coming out there. You know I'm coming. I think you know what I'm coming for," or something like that.
Were you cryptic like that?
No. No, I maybe I was. I don't know. Maybe I can't. I don't think I can go back that far. But I would be very interested to know exactly what I said. But it was very much like he knew exactly why I was coming out there. He knew what I was there to do. It was not a secret. And I said, I'd like to talk to you about. I'm sure I was not totally on the nose, but enough for sure. What?
I'm just thinking about you being direct. That's not really your style. So maybe he didn't know what you wanted at first.
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
Yeah, okay. Pops, we're
going to have to ask him at some point.
We will ask. We already talked to him before we came over here that we were going to be telling this story. And I told him, I'm going to be saying it from my perspective. You can rebut later. So yeah, I sent him that text. So the whole time, and your siblings knew, mommy knew what I was out there for. And multiple times throughout the week, did you talk to him? I said, he won't meet with me. He keeps on putting it off, or he has this to do. He's like working on music, or got to go to the church and work on this. He's got to work, got to watch some basketball or whatever. Like it was the whole time. And I'm just growing increasingly anxious because we're coming to the time where I'm about to leave, and take you back to Branson. And so finally, I texted him multiple times
the
during the week
yeah you
to
did.
like, hey, when do you have a second? I didn't want to push too hard, but finally it was the morning that we were gonna fly out, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. So he's the only one up. I'm the only one up with him. We agreed on that time to meet. He had his coffee, and we had a really nice moment. Because you're his treasure. So it was big. I knew how big it was for him, and I just want to honor him and say thank you to him for giving me your hand. That's not hard, or that's not easy to do. I know it was not easy for him. I can't remember everything he said, but I remember I remember the whole setting and the whole feeling of it all.
You don't remember what he said?
Not exactly. I don't want to misrepresent on the pod because I've done that before, and he called me out in the comments. Silent reverie, blessed quietness, whatever it was. Anyway, so that was great. But then we're flying out, so there's no chance for me to propose in New York. So what? So you're irritated still more while we're flying back. I'm sure, like you're just wondering what the hell is going on.
I was just wondering what you were doing.
Yep.
It was I don't even. It was like mid-January.
Yeah, probably. No, it was like end of January.
Is the end?
Yeah. Yeah, because I have a note from January 21st. We were in New York still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So towards the end of January, and I was like, okay. At this point, I know he's had the ring for almost a month, and he hasn't done anything with it. So.
Almost a month?
Yeah.
No. A couple weeks.
Well, you ordered it.
I ordered it in around Christmas time, but it didn't arrive, and we didn't get back to.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you have the ring in your possession for 3 weeks.
Give me some credit before you give me edits. Feel me?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I didn't like that.
So yeah, you had it for a while and you didn't use it. You didn't give it to me, so I was just like, whatever. And then there was a point. We get into February. You're, by then I wasn't driving yet, so you were,
Right.
picking me up to bring me to work every day and picking me up from work and, doing all these things. And it wasn't how you treated me when I first lived in Branson in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that like your level of responsibility toward me had grown in your mind, but it was still just like, I was side-eyeing you because I'm like, what is he doing? I'm here. I uprooted my life and came here. He wanted me to come back, and this is nothing's moving. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try not to focus on it. And so I wasn't focused on it. And it was moving towards Valentine's Day, and I was kind of excited because it was going to be our first Valentine's Day in the same place together. And we had never done that before, so I was just like, yeah, we got to do something big, because usually you would send me flowers, or like by then I'd usually be in rehearsals. Yeah. And so you would send me something to the theater, like an edible arrangement or a flower arrangement or something. One year you had one of my girls go to the vintage boutique that I liked and just pick up a bunch of things. One year you called and paid my tab at the vintage boutique, for Valentine's Day. You would always do something cute or special for Valentine's Day.
That was a good boyfriend.
You were a good boyfriend. But it was never like we'd never been in the same place together.
That's a good song idea. Have you written that one down? The Last Boyfriend, or like Last Boyfriend or whatever?
No, but maybe I should.
Concept.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Maybe you should write it down. Last Girlfriend.
Word life.
Cool.
Okay, keep on going.
Nobody steal that. Just kidding. You guys can do that if you want. So yeah, we'd never been in the same place together for Valentine's Day, so I was very excited. And someone, I don't remember who, but I think it was someone at work or something like that, showed me an advertisement. Somehow I came upon an advertisement for like this romantic 3-course dinner at Big Cedar Lodge, which is like this hoity-toity
Top of the rock
fancy resort in Branson.
We're talking $75, $80, $90 a plate.
Right. Actually, I think it was like 100 and something for both of us for like a
It's over.
3-course meal for
It was
both of
over
us.
200.
It was over $200.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, see, you remember. And the reason you remember is because you had a plan and you didn't tell me about it. Of course, you didn't tell me about it. It was a surprise. But the way you were acting over the price, considering how much money you have spent to like fly to me and take me places and feed me, like you were doing all this stuff before and it was way more money. And here I am like, hey, this is our first Valentine's together. We need to go, have a date, have da 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 da. And you were just like, that's a lot of money. And I was like, what?
Because it was.
This is our first Valentine's Day together. What is wrong with you? You used to spend so much money just to come see me.
Yeah.
And now that we're together, you're being cheap. I was so mad at you. I was like,
no way.
this is our first Valentine's together. Why don't you want to spend it like doing something really fun and like fancy? Like this is the first one. And
Wait a minute.
You were like, this is a lot of money. And I was like, I was contemplating just being like, whatever, I'll pay half. Like, why does it have to be this big deal? But we were riding, I can't remember the name
I mean,
of the
plane
road.
ticket is one thing. But $225, $250 for a meal. I never paid that much money for a meal. That's what?
You used to spend so much money on plane tickets.
Yeah, that's a plane ticket. Not a plate of food.
That was the experience, okay?
Okay.
Valentine's Day, our first one. I was so mad at you. And you were like, can we go somewhere else? I was like, you know what? Never mind. And you're like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just.
You didn't know how I was hurting financially at the time.
I'll pay for it. You were hurting?
Yeah, I just bought a ring. I maxed out a credit card to buy a ring. My credit card we still haven't paid off.
You still haven't paid it off? Oh no.
No.
My ring isn't paid off. That's crazy.
The credit card's not paid off.
The credit card's
Yeah.
not paid off.
No, I was kind of, as my grandpa would say, I was a hurting unit. So that's probably part of it too. There's probably some genuine like, yikes, and I just spent, anyway. We just traveled. There were a lot of things that had just happened, and so a bunch of it was tight. So
so the price keeps going up. Was it $250? Was it
it was
200,
it was
225? How much was it?
It was well over 200.
It was well over 200.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to book it. You didn't want to, but you did it anyway because you were pressured by me, I guess. And I remember one thing that I had been doing since December of 2018 was getting my nails done, because I did a photo shoot with my sis Cassie, and it was all these cute vintage outfits, and it was cute until you got to my hands. And I was like, ew, my hands look so unfinished. Like the picture just didn't look finished.
Yeah.
And so finally, I knew that I was having a concert for December of 2018. And I was like, all right, I'm getting my nails done. That's it. I can't. Yeah, this is when I'm going to do it. Because I was going to wear a gown, and I was going to be in a gown with them naked fingers. And I was like, no. So I got my nails done. And from then on, I had been getting my nails done. I used to get my nails done a lot in high school. Like all through high school, I got my nails done into college. And then after I was hospitalized in 2006, I never got them done again from then. And so I just kind of never really thought about it until I started, like, I don't know, dressing up vintage more. And then it just, seeing pictures of myself, it just kind of accumulated. So anyway, I got my nails done. And my mom was like, well, at least your nails are done. Like, you never know. And she's like, do you think he's going to propose on Valentine's Day? Because she was asking what we were going to do for our first Valentine's Day in the same place. And I was like, oh, I don't know. We made this, reservation. He didn't want to, I was telling her all about it. And she was like, well, maybe he's going to propose at dinner. Do you think he'll propose at dinner? I was like, no, he will not. There are all the people around there that will be there that will not know us. He's not going to do that. he's going to want people that we know to be around. So he'll probably do something like that. Like, he's not going to be cliche about it.
Right.
He's not going to be cliche about it. He will propose on Valentine's Day. And so Valentine's Day rolls around. I was over you. Because I already had to argue with you just for you to be like, let's go to a fancy dinner. And then you still hadn't proposed. And
what else?
I was like, you came to get me. You had some rehearsal or some meeting or something before that. So I had to go with you to the meeting.
Okay.
We were at mom and dad's for a while. And I was just like lounging on the couch until it was time for me to go to rehearsal. And I remember before we left the house, you were like, is that what you're wearing? And I was like, yeah, it's rehearsal. I'm going to wear something else for dinner later. And you were like, oh, okay. I was just wondering. I was like, wow. I had on like a pink tunic top and some leggings and some little like leopard
Heads. Yep.
And I had on my velvet turban on my head.
Mm-hmm. No makeup.
No makeup.
But your nails are done.
My nails were done. And I had black earrings on, and that was my outfit for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And now
we'll post a video. I think we should do that for sure.
We'll post a video. But now that I know what you were up to, I know why you questioned what I had on. Because some days I would at least like do my eyebrows, and I think I didn't even do my eyebrows that day. I was so over you. Like I was so over you.
Wait, you didn't do your eyebrows because you were over me?
No, I was just like, it wasn't that. It wasn't just that. It was just like it's a general state of over you-ness. And so I was like, all right, I'm just go to rehearsal, and then later I'll change, put on makeup or whatever. And we happened to have a worship session.
Mm-hmm.
So after lunch, our lunch break, there was like a surprise. They were like, hey guys, we have a surprise for you. Let's have a worship session. And so
so for those who don't know, you're working at Sight and Sound Theater.
Yeah.
Life-size Bible stories with actual animals, 40+ person cast, wraparound theater, football-sized stage, football field-sized stage.
The length of a football field.
And so that's where so it's a very Christian environment.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you're doing rehearsing for the Samson production.
Yeah, we were rehearsing for Samson.
And you're going to be a Delilah swing.
I was going to be one of the Delilahs. So the way that these shows work, there's 3 or 4 people that can play a role at any given time.
Yeah.
They usually cast the role 3 deep, and I was the 3rd one in line to play Delilah. And so we would have to switch out and do scenes, during rehearsal. It didn't really happen that a backup, which is what I was, would be put in during rehearsal. That didn't usually happen. And so.
But why did that happen?
Oh my gosh. We're getting ahead of ourselves. My gosh. We're at Sight and Sound. After lunch break, worship session. They had a former castmate come in with his wife and do some songs, and I remember going over into the corner and just like pouring out to the Lord how I was feeling. I was so mad at you. And I was like, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm not going to focus on this. I'm just going to trust your timing, and, let whatever he's got going on be what he's got going on. And you're like, and he was gracious with me. He was kind. And I felt the burden lift from my heart, and I was cool. And I stood up, and they announced that they were having a baby right at the end of the worship session. And we were like, oh, yay. Everybody's so happy. Everybody sits down and like, okay, so we're going to start this scene off with Delilah. They brought the set piece out. Samson and Delilah, when they have their argument scene, we just want to go through that with you guys. We're going to start with Mina. And I was like, what? Why are they starting with me? I'm back up. So I was not expecting that. Put my microphone on, grumbling the whole time. I was just like, oh
You were not in
gosh.
a good mood.
I was not. I mean, I felt better after the worship, so that was good. And I was just like, dang, I hope I remember these lines. So, I had to go through all the motions because there was going to be a quick change on set. So I went upstairs, went behind the curtain, and I'm having this conversation with the guy who's playing Samson. And there's a line where he says, here it is. And I'm supposed to come out from behind the curtain in a new outfit. So I come out pantomiming and I'm like, here am I. And I turn and it's you. And I was like, what? And I had just said it to my mom the night before. I was like, he's gonna propose, because she asked me about dinner. I was like, oh no, he's gonna do it when I don't have makeup on. I'm gonna be wearing like sneakers. I mean, watch. It's gonna be sometime and I'm not ready for it. And she's like, oh, come on. You really think so? I'm like, yes. Literally what happened. Maybe I should have said I'm gonna be fully dressed to the nines, and maybe that's what would have happened. But I literally was not prepared. Like, I knew that you were gonna propose at some point, but I just knew that it wasn't gonna be on Valentine's Day. And you proved me wrong.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I was not cliche because you expected the cliche, or no.
It was cliche because it was Valentine's Day.
It was cliche. No, it was not cliche. It was. It would have been cliche if you had not expected me to do it on Valentine's Day, but you already written me off. And I knew you already said no. He's not going to do it on Valentine's Day because that'd be cliche. So it was not cliche because of that.
It was cliche. It was not cliche because it was cliche.
Yes.
Okay.
So I prearranged. Shout out to Kim Miller. She's my. Oh, we got to reach out to the Kim and Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, great friends at Sight and Sound. So I reached out to Kim. She put me in contact with people in Branson who needed to be involved. So I arranged with them to get mic'd up and to be Samson for that scene. And so again, the Samson, was it Connor?
Was it Connor? No, it wasn't Connor. Well, they were both Connor.
Yeah, I think it was Connor.
Yeah, it was Connor.
It was Connor. So Connor said his line, and then they ran me out and replaced me and while you were back behind the prop, behind the scene, and then you came out and you flipped out, and we'll have to post the video so you can watch the rest of it. It was really beautiful. Yeah. So that was it. And then we went and had our $500 meal at Theater.
Yeah, and it all became clear to me why he didn't want to have that meal, because he was planning on already being engaged by then.
Yeah, so it was great. So I think it was a fun story. And
didn't you have other plans? Like,
oh yeah, no, I was gonna make it a viral video. I just ran out of steam. Like, I was gonna do 3 different proposals on 3 different stages in Branson. I was gonna propose at Sight and Sound, then get the ring back from you for like polishing or resizing or something like that, or adding something to it. And I was gonna then take you to our friends the Haygoods, and then to a magician, and like have you like be on stage with them. And then I was gonna like come in on the Haygoods from on a zip line with a jetpack, and then you were gonna like be floating in the air, and I was going to, then he was gonna pull back whatever and reveal me, and I was gonna propose or something like that. Like, I was gonna do 3 separate proposals. Like, it was gonna be the most viral proposal video ever. But anyway, I did one, and it got like hundreds of thousands of views on Facebook, so that was fun. But yeah. Anyway, I think it was memorable and fun, and it's always fun to hear these stories from people. Yeah. I always enjoy it, and I enjoyed your take on it. So a couple of quick takeaways, like, because we always like to do takeaways. I think I don't think it's old-fashioned to ask for the man's hand.
What?
Ask for the woman's hand from the father. I don't think that's old-fashioned. I think that's absolutely important. Mm-hmm. I also don't think that you should propose if there's a chance she'll say no. And I don't think you should risk it with the ring either. So I that's why I wanted to make sure it was the ring you wanted.
Yes, and I really appreciated that, even though it was kind of annoying because I already told you, and I wanted you to feel like you had a choice. Oh, now you
appreciated it because you're mad at me.
I appreciated that you cared so much what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of women who their ring is not what they would have picked for themselves.
Yeah.
They wear it because they love the person who gave it to them. But if
Mhm.
they had picked the ring themselves, if they had had a hand in picking their ring would look completely different.
Yeah.
I know many women. I have talked to so many women who are like, yeah, it's not really what I would have picked, but it's, it's from him. So,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful that you gave me the opportunity to participate in something that I would have to wear for the rest of my life.
Right.
Yep,
Totally. And vice versa. I love my ring as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so,
You picked your ring.
Yeah. So guys, I think you should do that. And but also the last thing I would say for the fellas there, don't overthink the proposal. You want to make it special, but it doesn't have to be a production on stage. That was natural to me. It was more natural for me to propose you on stage than it would have been to propose in a restaurant or something like that.
Right.
Stage is my second home. So
Yeah.
so,
And mine.
yeah, so it was fun. Yeah. Well, we'll post the video. It'll be good
You guys
times.
watch it. Let us know what you think. Also, you can drop your proposal stories in the comments.
Yes.
If you have one that you want to share. And, if you're praying for a proposal story, you could put that in the comments too. We're really grateful that you guys stayed this long to the end of this episode. Hopefully it was engaging for you and made you laugh. And, if it didn't, we've got something that hopefully is guaranteed to make you laugh. We want to leave you with a smile on your face. So
Yes.
What do you got, babe?
Well, okay. So I know, at the end of the day, like you were mad and this, that, and the other, but you got a good man. You know what I mean?
I
You
do.
did.
I
You got
do
a good
have a good
man.
man.
And it reminded me of T-Boz from TLC. Yeah. Do you know why she never exfoliates her skin? She don't want no scrubs. She don't want no scrubs. You didn't want to scrub either. You didn't get it.
I didn't get a scrub.
I always try to tie it in or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me do one better. I kind of like this one. What did the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe, stupid. Anyway, we love y'all. We'll see y'all in the next episode.
Guys,
All
go
right.
build a bridge.
Peace.